Okay. Unless you have been residing in a cave someplace, you could not help reading about Mel Fisher. For the past 16 years, he and his family have searched the Florida waters for treasure that were lost when a Spanish fleet was sunk in the year 1622. Last week, the dreams came true. He located a ship called the Atocha and over $400 million worth of treasure. Would you welcome Mel Fisher? You gotta let me touch that. Is that,
all right.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, it's a gold chain.
Real gold?
From the Atocha.
Oh,
Hold your hand down here, I'll give you gold fever. See, it's just dazzling, blinding.
Keep going, Mel. Keep going.
It won't rust, just shines forever.
I feel like Fred C. Dobbs and treasure. The weight of this is about like 1.5 pounds or something.
Oh, it weighs about $250,000.
Is that what Did this come off the Atocha?
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful? I was talking to our director, Bobby Quinn, before the show, and I may be wrong in this. I said, one thing about gold, when you bring it up, it usually is not encrusted. Is that true? Does gold maintain its color, even though it's been submerged maybe for hundreds of years? It won't rust, right?
And it won't turn green.
So it doesn't oxidize or anything. So if something silver is on the bottom, it looks, or like gold, I mean, it looks like gold, right?
Yeah.
Was this one of the first items you found?
Well, no, but we found so many of them, I can't keep track of them.
Okay, let's go back to the start. You've been at this for 16 years.
Right.
You first started, as somebody told me, you were a chicken farmer?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, how about that?
You know, those darn chickens lay eggs every day, you know, every chicken.
Yeah.
And it gets kind of old, thousands of eggs every day.
Well, the chicken's not too happy either with it, you know.
I decided to
where did you do
open up
this?
a scuba diving store.
Yeah.
Right here in Redondo Beach, California.
Got tired of the chicken business, opened up a scuba store in Redondo Beach.
I started teaching people how to go underwater and enjoy life. And
right.
I made a lot of underwater films and got interested in treasure hunting. And
what got you interested?
Well,
it's the dream. I mean, it's a fantasy of every kid to go out and look for treasure.
Well, that's what got me interested. Back in grade school and high school, I spent half of my study periods reading about Blackbeard and pirates and treasure and Treasure Island, and then the other half studying.
Right.
And now I'm actually doing it. How about that?
When was the first, what was the first, well, first of all, how do you know where to look? I mean, let's suppose you wanted to look for buried treasure. How do you know where to look?
Well, there's treasure everywhere, all around the world. Believe it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of treasures out there for any of you want to go find it. You can do it.
Yeah. But a lot of it has been covered over the centuries. I mean...
Oh, yeah. It's hard to find. It's buried under the sand and mud. And, this wasn't visible when we found it. I invented a machine that dusts away the sand and silt gently, you know, and slowly it began uncovering.
Now, when you first went to Florida, how many years ago was it actually?
That was about 20 years ago. I retired from business. And
how was your luck the first year when you started out?
it was bad. We had decided to spend 1 year of our life and go treasure hunting and give it a try. And 360 days went by with nothing. And then 5 days before the end of the year, we dusted a hole with a machine I invented called a mailbox, and boy, it was just paved with gold doubloons down there, just dazzling, blinding, beautiful. They were really shining in the sun, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see things like this.
Was that it? Now, that's a gold doubloon.
Yeah.
Not Spanish?
Yes, minted in Mexico, and we just found a mess of those, believe it or not, last week, too. We not only found this big pile of maybe 60 or 80 tons of gold and silver, we also found another pile of these doubloons and a gold cup I got back here.
All right, I'm going to show. Now, here's let's set this out here first. Look at this.
Isn't that beautiful?
Now, this was from the Atocha again?
No, this is from the fleet up in Central Florida, the 1715 fleet.
Do you know the name of the ship? Isn't there a registry or something that you have to go back and research?
Yes, there is, but I've got, in this particular fleet, there were 11 of them went down, and I don't know which one's which.
Right.
I found 5 of them out of the 11, and
Now, this would be, what year about would this have been made?
it went down 250 years ago, but it was probably made a long time before that.
This is really beautiful. Now, these are some of the...
Those are some of those gold doubloons.
that you hear about in all the movies, huh?
They have a cross on one side representing the 10 Commandments, and
Right.
on the other side is the conquistadors that used to conquer everywhere
I
and
see, they're the
take all the
landmark.
gold and silver.
Now, these are all gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can feel
And
it.
we got
They
silver
have-
ones, too.
They have the weight. Now, these
There's a stack of silver ones the way they look when we find them.
let me bring this up because this is interesting.
My son just...
See, I would think this was a pork roast if I ran across it. Now, these are all
Those
encrusted.
are pieces of 8. You
Pieces-
heard of pieces of 8.
Yeah.
And my son Kane came in yesterday from out there. He said he found 5 chests of those, and the chests are big, like this.
Now, pieces of 8 are gold or silver?
They're silver.
They're silver, so you have to take all of this
yeah,
incrustations
you clean
away.
them up and they clean up nice.
How do you do that without removing or damaging the... well, here we
some
are,
is
right here.
cleaned
Here's
up.
what they look like.
We hook it up to something similar to a battery charger that's running backwards. They call electrolytic reduction, and they clean right up.
So these are pieces of 8, right?
Yeah, yo ho ho.
Yes. Hi, me hearties.
And a bottle of rum.
Yes. We'll be back here in a moment. This is not a light piece. You can feel the weight around your neck. You told me something during the break that a gentleman could use this to what?
Well, they use that as a status symbol, you know. It's obvious he's a man of stature, isn't it?
Oh, yes. It makes you feel like a man of stature. The first time you went searching for the Atocha, you were in the wrong area, right?
Yeah, we were about 100 miles off and searched there for a year or two. I got the first indications of about that from a treasure hunting book, Potter's Treasure Diver's Guide, and they had the location in Matacumbe, and looked and looked and looked, and it wasn't there. And then I met a guy in Bible school and church, and Dr. Land, and found out he could research old documents in the archives. And so he found a document over there for me saying it was located way down by Key West. So
Right.
we moved the whole operation down to Key West, and
How long did it take you once you got there to strike?
well,
pay dirt?
let's see, 16 years.
You're very philosophical about this.
We went out there and started searching, and I thought it'd take about 6 weeks to find it and bring it all in, you know, and put it in the bank. And went back and forth for 6 weeks and didn't find anything but bombs, and went back and forth for another year, and then another year, and finally found one lead musket ball and then a piece of pottery. And I come up and I said, "This is it." And they said, "What?" And I said, "This is the Atocha." They said, "Well, it looks like a lead ball and a piece of pottery to me."
And sure enough, you were on top of the site?
Yeah, but it wasn't the big pile. It was just a little dribble of it. And we kept finding dibs and dabs, you know, a million here and a million there. But we kept we kept spending it, see, and putting it all back into the ocean. And so then we followed this trail. My son Kane was following this trail for about 2.5 years. Nothing but a ballast stone and then a spike, and then a lot of empty holes, and then another ballast stone. And finally, about 6 weeks ago, I decided to stop all my operations. I had some boats working on another galleon called the Margarita,
Right.
where we lucked out and found about 20 million there. And then there's another 180 million there, but I took them away from that and have everybody pounce on the end of this trail and started moving the boats one in front of the other. And finally, Memorial Day, about a month ago, they found a chest of gold bars, and boy, everybody got turned on, and we knew we were on the right trail, you know. And then I told the girls that were working out there diving, I said, tomorrow find some emeralds. And they did. 16 beautiful deep green emeralds mounted in gold.
It is hard to imagine the excitement you must have felt after all of this.
And then it all stopped again. And for about another 5 weeks, we couldn't find anything but more rocks and more rocks. Went another 2, 3, 4 miles down through the ocean. And then finally, all of a sudden, Kane called in and said, "You can throw away all the charts and maps. We got it."
You're kidding.
Yeah,
and there it was.
So yesterday he told me he'd brought up 5 chests full of coins. Each one's worth $1,600,000. And he says there's stacks more of them down there.
I have a question to ask you. It's not for a loan or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's for...
Oh, you know what? I think I've found enough to pay a couple months of your alimony.
Wait, I'll get my snorkel and go with you. I had a question there. You threw me off for a second. All right. Here's the question we were talking about in the office. Obviously, everybody knows where this location is now. It's been pretty well publicized, and you're out there. What is to prevent? Now, it's going to take you, what, almost another year to bring up what you think is down there?
I estimate about 2.5 years. We're doing it very methodically and archaeologically,
Right.
you know.
What's to prevent some bad person from claim jumping or anchoring a boat a mile away at night and sending people in to try to jump this? I mean, how do you protect this?
It's already happened, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, one of the guys come in and took about $3.5 million worth and
Oh, you're kidding.
took off with it. But see, we've got the U.S. Marshals and the federal judges on our side, and those federal judges, they mean what they say, you know.
Yeah.
And the marshals do what they tell them to do, and so they got the gold back, and
Good for you.
the judge sentenced them to 4 years in the federal penitentiary. So the word got around, and they haven't been bothering us.
There's something I want to comment on, and this is not precipitated by anything you have talked about, because I haven't met you till you're here tonight. I understand that the state of Florida and the federal government is now making claims on this treasure, which I think is almost obscene, inasmuch as you spent 16 years of your life, raised the money yourself, went out and did all the work, found this treasure after all these years, and now the government is jumping in saying, we want to come in as a partner, or we want the treasure. Isn't that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, it is. It's really awful. The federal government wanted 100% of it after I'd spent all those millions, you know. And so anyway...
it's supposed to be the land of free enterprise and opportunity, and the government wants to come in as a partner, or more than a partner.
We must have a pretty good government, though, because I went through the federal court system, 110 federal court hearings, 3 in the appellate courts and 1 in the Supreme Court of the United States, and I won. How about that?
Good for you. Good for you. You did all the work. You did all. It should be yours.
Yeah, the 9 judges said I get 100%, and I thought that was the end of it. But now, Congress is trying to pass a new act of Congress, just with a pen, you know, saying from now on the federal government owns all the treasures and all the wrecks in the ocean. And I think it's a bunch of baloney.
It's a bunch of baloney. You got
I'd like
that
to
right.
get all you folks to write your senators in Congress.
Yeah, do it. This is ridiculous. This man. We'll be back in a moment. We have one tape to show you. Put him on here. Isn't that pretty? A little gold bar. What would that be worth, today's prices?
Golly, I don't know. It's in the priceless category.
Solid gold. We're going to go to this film. It was taken yesterday, I understand. Have your crew working?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'll try to...
Okay, watch the
see if I can
monitors
figure
here.
out what
And
it
here's
is.
Mel Fisher's crew at work.
Okay, oh, that's an artifact tag where we number everything and keep track of all the items that we find down there.
Right.
It looks like it's on a timber. This is, there's a stack of silver bars there. Look at them. They're just kind of cockeyed and askew. Looks like they're fanning out. Oh, that's I heard about that. I haven't seen it. It's a font, F-O-N-T. There's a stack of coins. That's a treasure chest right there to the left.
Look at that.
That's a whole mess of coins all stuck together. That's
How
one of
deep?
those,
How deep are you down here?
That's 55 feet. See those bars there?
Yeah.
They're fanning out. There's a handful of coins. Harry's putting a bar into the basket, you see. And those are heavy, 75 pounds each. And there's stacks of them down there as far as you can see. I was down there the day before yesterday.
That's
It's
That's
just
fascinating.
mind-boggling.
Now let me show you. I was just going to reach back and pull this up, but I'm going to have to stand up to do this because
Watch your
this
stomach.
weighs about, what,
75 pounds.
75 pounds. There is a bar of silver. I don't know what the inscriptions here on this are, but there are some.
They were talking about that in the federal court today. They're having a hearing. We had to prove that this was the Atocha.
Right.
And by the numbers on there, we did. Here's the serial number.
Right.
And it's on the manifest, and this is the mine.
Where was mine?
Yeah, and something else. I think that's a mint mark.
That is incredible. That's what a bar of silver like. Well, Mel, I appreciate you taking time out to come out here and share this with us. I think it's absolutely fascinating. I wish you luck on getting all of the treasure up, and I hope it's all yours and they let you keep it. They should.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. Oh, excuse me. Sure. What is that? We're going to have to go now. We'll just look at this quickly.
If you turn around and bend over, I'll show you what.
Never mind. We'll be right back. Stay where you are, Mel.